and welcome to the Insecure Chef. I'm here with Regina today on this beautiful spring day. It must be about 75 degrees outside, right in the middle of spring. So I thought it was a good time to cook. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but that's it. All right, today we're going to be doing a pot roast. Call it what you will. What I've got in front of me, if you can see clearly, is this is a beef chuck roast that I cut in quarters. This is going to be servings for only 2 or 3 people, depending on how hungry you are. Obviously, scale this up. You can get chuck roasts 5 and 10 pounds if you want. Scale it up proportionally for the people you're serving it, but that's what I've got here today. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go take this over to my Ninja FOODI. You don't have to do this in a FOODI. Okay, you can braise this beef, which is what we're going to do now, in any saute pan, and then you can pressure cook it in any pressure cooker system you want. And that's how we're going to be doing. This is not a slow cook. This is a pressure cook. So, I guess I could salt it, though with all the flavors that we're going to be putting in here, probably unnecessary. But we're going to go over there right now, and we're going to braise this up. So let's move over here. Okay. I've already got some oil in there, about a teaspoon or so, and I'm going to throw in the meat. My wife has given me directions. You can talk on this aloud. Okay.
I don't want to
She wants me to turn it this way.
Now enough? I could sing better. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, I imagine the hood's in your way. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take this beef now. I'm going to shove it in there. If you are using the Ninja FOODI, this is set on setting 4 with the sauteing. We're going to let that cook for a bit, just to get a little kind of a crust on it. I'll be turning it around, try to get all the sides covered, so that'll take a few minutes. So we'll come back as we get closer to braising all the sides. Okay, we're back. As you can see, we've braised a good part of this meat right now. I'm kind of just doing the sides. There we go. Again, you're not cooking this, of course. You're just braising it up, which adds a load of flavor. Trying to get that little corner.
I know, you got to move that.
Yeah, we'll get you. Okay. I sure smells good.
It does already.
It's just beef and a little oil and a little salt. All right, once this gets, colored, how long you do this? Maybe 4 or 5 minutes per side. Try to cover all the sides. It just increases the flavor. It's not an exact science, but you get the idea. Yeah, maybe another minute and we'll be ready to go. Now what I'm going to do is when these are done, I'm going to just take them out for a very brief moment because I'm going to be layering the vegetables. All right, the tougher vegetables, which is in this case would be the carrot, I'm going to put that down first. All right, then I'm going to follow that with the potatoes. Then I'm going to put the meat back in, and then I'm going to put the onions on top of the meat. Okay. And then I will have, at that point, added all the remaining ingredients, which is the beef broth and the spices. So we'll be doing that momentarily. All right, I think we're ready just to temporarily remove the meat. Just going to put it on the side here. All right. Now with that, I'm going to add my beef broth. That's going in. You'll hear that sizzle. beef broth is in. Just gonna give it just a little rinse at the bottom to make sure I get all the yummy flavor from the beef. I used beef bouillon, in this case better than bouillon. Okay, that's going in. All right. Now I'm going to follow that with the carrots. I didn't have whole carrots. I went with baby carrots. Whole carrots would be better, but it'll work either way. I kind of weighed out what I thought would be one whole carrot. All right, I'm going to follow that now with the potatoes. They'll go in. And again, you see there is in large chunks because under pressure cooking, if you cut these down small, you'll never see them again. They'll emulsify and you won't have any chunks. So large chunks is helpful. All right, I'm going to put the meat back in, or maybe I'll put the spices in first. Well, let me do that. Let me just give it a little salt. Again, this is the taste, probably about a teaspoon. Same thing with the black pepper, maybe around a teaspoon. That'll go in there. I'm going to follow that up with a little minced garlic. Again, as always, the quantities are on the channel. Get that in there. I've got a little Italian spice seasoning mix going in. If you don't have this, you can certainly make your own. It usually consists of oregano, thyme, marjoram, basil, that kind of thing. You know, to your ratios. I'm just lazy. I happen to have it, so I'm using it. I'm going to sprinkle that in there. Again, the quantities will be on there. The more you put, the stronger the taste you'll have. Let me see if I can get a little more in there. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
That's more like it.
That's more like it. Okay. Got that in there. I'm going to be adding a little hot sweet chili to this. If you don't want that, that's fine. You're not going to notice the heat at all with this. It just adds flavor to it because you're not using a lot. And this, by the way, is a sweet and hot, not just hot. So I enjoy the flavor of it. It's got excellent, excellent flavoring. It goes great with beef. It goes great with anything, but it really goes great with beef. Going to use about a tablespoon of tomato paste. If you don't have tomato paste, you can use ketchup. Okay, let's get that in there. Yeah, that should be good. All right, that's in there. And I think I've got everything done in there.
Did you put the garlic in?
Yeah, didn't I do the garlic? Oh, I don't think I did the garlic.
No.
Well, thank you. What did I, oh, wow. I had to miss my garlic, that's for sure.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to use about a, where'd it go? I'm going to use about a teaspoon of minced garlic. Could have swore I put it in. Well, you folks will know when you see the video if I put it in twice. For me, that's not a problem. But it's strange, you got two adults here who can't remember what I put in.
Well, I didn't smell it. That's the key.
Yeah, good way. Good point. All right, the beef's going back in. Okay, give it a little bit of a stir here. You don't have to worry too much because it'll be under pressure for an hour. All right, then we'll just finish it off with the onions. Again, you'll see that I have chunk onions here. Because again, if you cut these down or do anything small, you may taste them, but you won't see them. All right, that's all in there. Give that just a little rub. Put them down in there. Is my arm in your way?
No, it's okay.
All righty. All right. I think that looks pretty good. I don't think I left anything out. So we're gonna close the lid. I'm gonna hit the stop button just to get it off of saute. And when it comes back, I'm gonna move it over to pressure cook. I'm gonna make sure it's set for high, as you see. I'm going to set it for natural release. Okay, and I'm going to pressure cook it for 30 minutes. 60 minutes. Okay, 1 hour set on high, and we're set for natural release. So here we go. We'll start it up. And on this particular model, you don't have to worry about the valve setting. If you have the original models, make sure you're set for pressure and not vent. And that's it. So we'll come back when this is over and we'll take a look at it. The other thing is, if it turns out that when I do taste it after an hour, if I think the beef is still not as tender as I want, I'll just give it another 5 or 10 minutes of pressure cooking. Okay? Be right back. Okay, the 60 minutes of pressure cooking time is almost done, as you can see. Now what we'll be doing is, once this gets down to 0, I'm going to give it a opportunity to do a 10-minute natural release. Natural release, as you know, is simply we just let it slowly dissipate the pressure on its own. And after that 10 minutes, then I will hit the quick release button and finish the pressure cook. We'll be back then. All right, we're back. The 10-minute natural release has taken place. I have opened it up, taking a look in there, and we're going to scoop out a bunch and see if it's tender and soft, and hopefully meets my requirements. Do some of that. See if I can get a carrot or two. All right. Just as a test. All right, what do you think, babe?
Looks good.
Well, looks good. All right, let me just try cutting it here.
Oh, like butter.
Yeah, that doesn't look like it's that doesn't look like it's going to be a problem. Here we go. Hot. Like butter. Let me try the carrot. Hot. Now the potato. Still got a little body, which is nice.
Yeah.
You'll bear with me because it's very hot.
I know, you can smell that.
Hot. All right. I've kind of messed up the prettiness of the plate, but the taste is there, I assure you. And what I intend to do is, once I empty the meats and the vegetables, I'm going to turn this into a gravy. To do that, it's very simple. Just get rid of all the meats and the veggies, and just begin to add flour. I would probably start with maybe 3 tablespoons of flour on saute, medium saute, and just keep stirring around until you get the desired thickness for the gravy. So, from the Insecure Chef and his wonderful wife Regina,
have a wonderful night.
and thank you for watching. Enjoy the beef. Please ask your friends to check on us and subscribe. We're trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark, so we'd appreciate your help. Thank you again, and have a good night.